Welcome back to Darth Balls and Bourbon. In our next installment of trying to pretend like I know what I'm talking about with whiskey, we are going to do a blind. I meant to do this closer to Thanksgiving. Life gets in the way. I was going to do a live stream, but alas, I wasn't able to. So I'm doing the next best thing, which is recording it, and then I will edit it for my second straight time. I promise there will be far less cock jokes or no cock jokes, and definitely no roosters crowing in your ear constantly. Anyway, what we have here, Russell's 15, Russell's Single Rick C&F, which is a 2023 release, but I happened to get one this year. I traded a Russell's 15 for it. I also have a Russell's 13. This is batch 5 for those who care, which, I mean, truly, I think it does matter. This is a batch 5 that I got on trade a year and a half ago, something like that. And then this is the last bits of my favorite Russell's pick to this point. This is from Maize and Mash and Glen Ellen. Sorry, it's not zooming in there. Don't know why. Sorry. Hopefully you can see it there. But it's a 9-year Camp Nelson B Floor 6 by Maize and Mash. So far, this has been my favorite Russell's pick I've tried to this point. Or at least that I've owned, I should say. But probably that I've tried either. Anyway, really good. So for anyone who doesn't necessarily know Turkey or Russell's, Russell's single barrel private selections are some of the best value, even under $100 you can get within the whiskey business. They're great. So from what I've had, the Camp Nelsons have been great. The Tyrone K's have been great. What's the other one? I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, you can't go wrong, in my opinion. They're generally between 50, $60. They've started to climb up into the 80s, sometimes 100, but I think they're still well worth it. Pretty much the lowest age you're ever going to find is at least 8 to 9 years on these. If you like turkey, you cannot go wrong with these. Russell's 13 was first introduced, I think, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, was batch 1 through 3, and then early the next year was batches 4 and 5. I got a 5. I think, if I remember correctly, the 3 and the 1 were a bit better. 2 I didn't love. 4 I thought was definitely better than 5. But 5 is still good. We're just going to see how it goes tonight. So I may eat my words later. We'll see. Russell's 15, best bottle of 2015. 2015. I don't know what the best bottle of 2015 was. I was still drinking, Natty Ice, Natty Bros, stuff like that, probably. Actually, maybe not. Craft beer. Maybe that was when I first got into craft beer, probably. And rum and cokes, for the most part. Maybe a little bit of scotch. And maybe some Blantons or something like that. Anyway, Russell's 15, in my opinion, probably the best release of 2024. 15-year, 117.2 proof. So Russell's 15. This is a great bottle. And then, arguably my favorite modern day turkey product I've tried, Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse Camp Nelson F. Like I said, this one is from last year. The 2024 release is a C and B. I did not get one of those. I did try it. It's also excellent. I just prefer the C and F. Anyway, we're just going to go through, smell them, see which one we like best, taste them, see which one we like best. I'm not going to give you over-the-top notes on it because I'm not very good at that. I did already mix these around for complete, to show you that I'm mixing them around. Let's go ahead and put them all over here. And then I'll kind of, move them even though you can't see them. But I'm just moving them all around again. And now I'll just put them back on here in whatever order they are. Okay, so not sure how well my camera sees these. Far right looks darker at first glance. And then the other 3 are maybe somewhat similar. So my suspicion already would be that the far right is Russell's 15. One thing bad about blinds is you put that in your idea earlier, or you put that in your head early, you kind of stick to it, whether it's true or not. But it looks darker, so I have a feeling that may be the Russell's 15. But we're going to start left to right. That one smells very, very good. Hope you guys all had a good Turkey Day. As mentioned, I meant to do this for Thanksgiving or maybe even a live stream on Black Friday, but things happened and it didn't work out. And here we are almost a month later. Well, I guess Thanksgiving was late, so it's really only 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, first one smells really good. Second one a little muted as compared to the first. I'll be really pissed, by the way, if these all end up being in the right spot, because I mixed them all around for probably 3 minutes before I started the video, and as you saw, I just mixed it around again. This one is there's not a whole lot going on in there. Full disclosure too, as you can see, Russell's CNF, pretty high fill level. Russell's 15 is in the bottom, probably quarter of it. I've loved that bottle and I've shared it with a lot of people. I've taken it to a lot of shares. I do have a backup, and then I did have a third one. I got really lucky. I brought this up in another video, but I got one online with the clusterfuck of a drop through Russell's, through Wild Turkey. And then I got one at Costco, oddly enough. And then I got one just from my local liquor store. So I did trade one of them straight up for a CNF through another Discord server. So not mad about that. Russell's 13, like I said, I got in a trade about 2 years ago. As you can see, it is pretty much gone. I was going to cash it out, but I didn't want to give away, you know, that it was a little higher fill level. And these are already a little higher than I would do for a blind. But this one I've been sitting on. This was probably from 1.5 years ago. Yeah, this was bottled January of 2023. So I would have picked this up early 2023. So this is almost 2 years old. And I've had it open for at least 1.5 years. It was on its last legs. I've been holding on to it. I'm hoping that it didn't do the bottle a disservice, because it was an absolutely delicious bottle. And I wish I had a backup. Okay, this one smells pretty nice. This one smells really nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one's real good. I mean, like I said, I don't know if you guys can discern this. It looks darker to me. My nose is picking up more of that sweet, sweet, delicious oak. So to me, I think that's probably the Russell's 15. It smells so good. As I've said before, I think the Russell's 15 does a great job. I think there's not really much, if anything, wrong with it. I will say that in my head, since I've tried these though, the CNF seems to have a little more versatility. Like there's a little bit more going on. It's more rounded. Whereas the Russell's 15 is just 117 proof, lots of oak, lots of vanilla, you know, kind of caramely, a little bit of cherry. And that's pretty much it. But it does it so fucking well. So anyway, let's go ahead and try these. We'll start left. We'll go left to right. Or I guess I should rank nose. Okay, so that's probably either 2 or 3. That one is easily last. And I'm really hoping it's not the Russell's 13. I mean, I hope it is, but I hope I didn't put it right in front of it. This one is pretty good. Okay, back to here. Okay, so nose ranking, and I will, like I said, I edited my last video. I'm learning. It took forever, and it wasn't very good, but I'm going to attempt to do it again. I'll try to, like, even put what they are, because that's one pet peeve when I'm watching a video, especially a long video, is I don't blame you for skipping to the end. I don't, like, I want to know what they're drinking when they're drinking it, so that you're like, oh, that fucking idiot, he just thought that was Russell's 15, and that's really the 9-year C&B. So anyway, I'll try to put that up on the screen as I'm drinking them, or at least after I first go through. But in terms of how I'd rank them on nose, number 1 would be glass 4. Number 2 would be glass 1. Number 3 would be glass 3. And number 4 would be glass 2. So order of nose would be 4, 1, 3, 2. And based off nose alone, I would guess Russell's 15 is glass 4. I would say I'm a little torn on the CNF versus the what I hope is private barrel. So it could either be 1-3 or it could be 3-1, one or the other. And this is undoubtedly, unfortunately, probably Russell's 13, or on the off chance it might be my private barrel that I let sit too long, being on its last pour. But we're going to start with number 1. That one is really, really good. First drink of the night, didn't have a warm-up pour, so it does have a little bit of that ethanol-y taste. And for proof, I did never say it, but Russell's are always 110 as far as I know. Russell's 13, I think, is 114. 114.8 proof. And then these are both like 117. So 117.2 and 117.6. So they're all within 7.6 proof points of one another. First one, very, very good. Nice and viscous. Not super viscous. I have a feeling on first sip that's probably... I'm going to be really annoyed if it's really almost pretty much in order. But I feel like that might be the Russell's Private Barrel. Now the nose smells a little better on this one. That's really good. It's just kind of boring. So that one's a little more oily on the mouthfeel. It just lacks the complexity on the actual flavor. To me, it lacks a little bit of the complexity that the first one had, and the finish is a little quicker, in my opinion. So as of now, I'm just saying this out loud to kind of keep track as I go. 1 is better than 2 so far. Oh, baby, that nose is excellent. I may have messed up. I think this one may be my second favorite nose. All right, bottoms up. That's got to be the CNF. That's incredible. It's got like everything you want, top to bottom. I would be pleasantly surprised if that was the last bit of my Russell's pick, but I don't think it is. But if it is, then that just tells you how good the Russell's picks are. Certain ones, anyway. Okay, gonna rinse out just a little bit. Okay, glass 4. What I assume to be that dark, delicious best bottle of 2024, Russell's 15. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah. Willing to bet the house that's Russell's 15. It's just a special pour, and that oak is so punchy. It's incredibly good. All right, 15 minutes. We're 15 minutes in. If you're still here, I appreciate you. I will try to get better at editing and making these quicker, more to the point. I'd also like to start to do a little bit more live streams. Man, that finish. Whew. Okay. We're going to go in a little bit different order this time, because that's one of my philosophies too, is don't go straight down and then straight back. It's not always the same, and you don't always want to follow the same after one another. So I'm going to jump like into here, then maybe back to here, and then back to here and here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Actually, we'll go back to glass 1. So on first evaluation, it pretty much, so 4 would be my, one of these is my favorite, either glass 4 or glass 3. Glass 1, probably 3, and then glass 2, probably number 4. But number 4, would be my number 4 ranking, but glass 2, definitely, it was better than it smelled. On smell, it had pretty much nothing. Yeah, glass 1. The nose has got that quintessential funk, vanilla with a little oaky. That's really good. It's just like I said, I think to me, this, I can discern that it's slightly less proof than the others. And that's why I think this is likely this. But it's an excellent, especially for, even at a restaurant, I think that was $100 or $85 plus tax or something like that. If that is the Russell's pick, excellent. Like I said, it's almost as good as here. But now let's go directly to that one. Everybody's blowing up my phone while I'm trying to do my video. This one is certainly more oily than glass 1. It's just, you can tell there's a little bit higher proof there, a little bit longer, more meaningful finish. So I think, well, now I guess I technically have to go back here. We'll do a little rinse out. Man, the finish on that is so good. I'm pretty sure I got these locked in. If I get it wrong, then I might quit YouTube. But I think I did pretty good. Yeah, I mean that one, the kind of oily mouthfeel is there. The palate is pretty good. It's just like it's boring compared to the rest of the crew. So, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and lock it in. I think glass 1 is my Russell's. I think glass 2 is my Russell's 13. I think glass 3 is my Russell's CNF. And I think glass 4 is my Russell's 15. Now, how do I rank those? Let me take one last sip of the Russell's 15. A little swish out, I guess, would be fair. And I think maybe Russell, assuming this is Russell's 13, I think it held up better than I thought it would. And if it's not that, then good for Russell's 13. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's 100% Russell's 15. Yeah, that's excellent. So, best bottle of 2024, especially given cost and that secondary value on it is not that much more than cost. So, anyway, final answers are nose, I gave to 4, and I'll have to fact check myself. 4 was number 1, 1 was number 2, 3 was number 3, and 2 was number 4. Ranking nose. If I got that wrong, it would have been 1 and 3 swapped. They're both good. As for flavor, palate, finish, etc., overall experience, number 2, glass number 2 is my least favorite. The reveal. Light blue. Light blue is Russell's 13. Let me just be 100% sure. Yeah, light blue. Okay, so that's number 4. But I do think it was better than I remember it being, especially for batch 5. I think if this was batch 1 or 3, it could maybe surpass one of these other. I think glass 1 is my Russell's Private Barrel C&B 9-year from Maize and Mash. And if it's a red sticker, there we go. I'm a YouTuber for a reason, baby. Like and subscribe. I'm a savant. I just suck at notes. Ah, man, that one is fucking great. If you can go find yourself one of these, C&B, maybe not this specific bottle. It's been sold out for a long time. But it is so good. Okay, and drum roll, please, for my number 1 overall. I am going to call glass 4 my number 1 overall on nose and on palate, whole experience, etc. And that is, you may notice the labels. Dark blue is Russell's 15. Green label for Russell's CNF. The sticker will indicate which is which. There we go. Or, I'm sorry, purple. I didn't have dark blue. So, yes, Russell's 15 is glass number 4. Making green the Russell's CNF. So, overall ranking. Russell's 15, my favorite of this lineup. Russell's Single Rick CNF, slightly behind it. I think it is an excellent whiskey. I just think the Russell's 15 really gives me the oomph and the oak that I love in bourbon, especially in like limited edition whiskey, or smaller release, etc. I think the C&B, the Russell's Private Barrel, held up very well. It was almost as good as the CNF, which to me is insane considering it's 7 proof points lower. And it was $85 versus this was $350 retail or $300 plus, I think. And then the Russell's 13, I just think that given the secondary cost of it, you are much better off getting a good Russell's pick, or once again, the caveat, Russell's batch 1 or 3 or even 4 maybe would hold up better. But I just think your money is better spent on a Russell's 15, which is insanely good, or a CNF. Or the C&B is also really, really good. I just like the CNF better. So, final answer, Russell's 15. Russell's Single Rick, CNF. Private Barrel, Camp Nelson B, Floor 6 from Maize and Mash. Excellent pick. Great job, Bourbon Belly. And Russell's 13, Batch 5 is my least favorite, but still very good. All right. Once again, I'll try to get graphics up here, over here probably. There's more empty space. Sorry for the delay in getting this out. Meant to do a live stream at Thanksgiving, but I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment on what you want me to do in the future. Tell me what I'm doing wrong or how I could be better. which is pretty much in every way possible. I could be better, but it's fun way to pass the time, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a great day. Have a great holiday. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And I hope you guys get some good bourbon from Santa Claus. Take care.